Welcome to .NET GAN. Today I am going to discuss about the singleton pattern in C Sharp. The singleton pattern which belongs to the creational patterns category, and it which deals with the object creation and its manipulation. And in singleton pattern, normally the single object or single instance can be created, and which will have a global point of access to all the other application, all complete application, all other objects. And single turn pattern is useful when the exactly one instance is required, which will have coordinate with all other system. And it is also useful the use cases like logging in the application, or caching management, or configuration management. So these are use cases, common use cases we normally use in our application. So let's start with the example. So first we need to create one project. Search for console application. Select console app. Click on next button. Give name to console app. Singleton example. Click on next button. Click on create button. Project is getting created. Okay, so first we will create one class to implement the singleton pattern. Go to Solution Explorer and add a new class, single singleton sample. So first we need to make this class as a sealed. So we will do that first. Sealed. Thereafter we will create one private constructor. Private constructor we will create. Now we will create one variable to hold the object internally. Thereafter we will create one instance method. So we will name it create instance, and inside it we will create an object. First we will check whether the singleton is null or not, and thereafter we will create object. If it is null, then only we will initialize. So this will create an object and we will return it singleton. So creation is done, and now we will create one method, public method, to test the behavior. Print method, you can say. Inside it we will take one parameter input, and we will print that parameter. right line, and thereafter we will pass the input. Okay, so this is done. uh, another thing we need to do is that we should also track uh, how many instance is getting created. For that we will introduce one static method, static variable to track the counter. For example, you can say is I. Let's initialize with 1, and here we will print the counter, whatever count it is. Okay. So we will write here print object initialized for I plus plus times. Okay, so it will give us idea how many instance has been created. So ideally it should be 1. So now, now the class is ready. Let's call this class. Let's try with one thing. Let's try to initialize the class. Let's see. You can see there is an error because we have created a private constructor which will prevent to create object outside the class. So what we'll do, we will use that static method to initialize this class. Okay, so for that dot create. Okay, and then we will print the dot print, where we will pass this is client 1. Okay, similar way we will create another object client 2, client 2, client 2. So now, let's test this scenario. So you can see the object initialized for 1 times, client 1 and 2 is printed. So it is okay for now. Let's do one thing also, console dot read line. We will call it so that program will wait for user input. So it is now giving a proper output. So as of now it is perfectly working. But what if this class is instantiated by the in a multi-threaded environment, and concurrent request made to this uh, create instance method? What will happen that it might create multiple instance instead of a single instance, because it is still not a thread safe code. So let me show you, demonstrate that how this can be happen. So for that, what I will do, I will do I will try to hit the concurrent request task dot using task dot run method. Inside it I will call these two methods which we have called earlier, this one, okay, and I will also call the another method which is this, okay. So now let's test with this multi-threaded environment, okay. So this will call concurrently at the same time. Let's try it. You can see now the the object is initialized two times separately because the call is made in a different thread concurrently. To avoid this, we need to do some changes in our classes or in our singleton class. We should include the thread shape code. So for that we need to have one, we need to put a lock mechanism. For that we will create one dummy object, private static read only object obj, okay. So this object is created. Let's put some locking code. So we will use lock. Inside it we will provide object, and this code is will also work, but we need to also make sure that every request should not lock. Every request should not lock, and we should check whether it should go to inside if the singleton object is null. So we will check outside also whether the singleton object is null or not. Then only it will go to this lock. Otherwise, it will simply return the already created object. So this will improve the performance. From performance point of view, this code is double check is needed. So we have put it the double check. Now let's try this code again with multi-threaded call. You can see the difference is now, even though the request gone concurrently, the singleton class initialize only one time. So thread shape code prevented the multi instantiation, okay. So as of now it is good, but even though we have another approach also, by using that we can also make this class or implementation thread safe using inbuilt classes. For that we just need to use private static read only lazy class. We need to use that lazy class will help us to create single instance even though in multi-threaded environment. Lazy singleton we can call, okay, is equal to new. So we will comment all this code. No need to have this code now. We will, instead of that, we will, what we will do, we will return lazy singletons objects value, return. So let's check with this new code. Even though we don't need this object also, this object also, okay. One thing is missing. Let me complete that. We need to create instance here. That is missing part. Okay, we should return the value from here. We are not returning it. So now let's check with this change. Let's try with the change. Okay, so semicolon is missing. Now you can see it is instantiated one time, even though multi-threaded call is being made. This way you can easily implement the singleton pattern with thread safe code. If you like this video, please press the like button. If you are new to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.